Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lottie. Everything here is made with a Lottie love. I'm giving you a sneaky peek of what I'm making today. This is another scrap attack. So this is what we're making today. Gift bags from scraps. And I've got two different versions of bags. So here I've got the one style. So these ones used up large print stash scraps, and these ones you can see used up strips of stash. And then we have the second option, which is a foldy one, and it's so quick and easy. Both of them are so quick and easy, but this and this are all created from a couple that are still unfinished, and just look how cute this little one, this little one, he's so cute. Yeah, so this is another scrap buster project. Stick with me, and yeah, let's get crafting. So here we go, there's a piece of scrap, and all you're going to do is fold it almost in half and just leave a strip of paper on one side. There is no measurements needed here. It is just using up your scraps. So I'm going to fold that over. Get a piece of double-sided tape. And then fold that over. Okay, then we are going to bring the bottom up again, no measurements required, just kind of eyeballing, but I'd imagine that's about an inch. It's just over an inch that I've folded. And then you're going to open up that flap you've just made, push down the corner. It might take a little bit of manoeuvring because this is card. Paper bags are a lot easier to fold. And the same on the other side. We're going to fold up this inner side so that it goes just over that center line. We're going to push this one up, and it just looks neater if they are aligned as well, but then because you've overlapped it, you can now add some glue, or just for now, because it's this, I'm making this super quick for the video, I'm just going to put a line of double-sided tape here, secure that down. Now I'm going to use that line as a guide, that the side I take down, and just fold that inward and kind of match that up. If you want this specifics, this is about 1/4 inch. I work better with inches. And fold the other side, and then you open up we're going to fold that back in on itself. Again, this is quite stiff card, so it might just need a little help in manoeuvring. And there we have a little bag, a little paper bag, and it's as simple as that. So again, any size piece of scrap. If you want to make sure that it is specifically straight first, we can get our paper trimmer, but if, like this one, it wasn't quite right, you can add just a strip of paper, or like this one, I added some lace around the top. So just like so. So this is, okay, we're going to go 6 inches. So I'm going to just trim that down so that the edge is straight. And again, if you want measurements, I will do this with measurements. So we're going to give this a 1/4 inch. Actually, that needs straightening up as well. So this piece of paper I've got here is 6 by 7. Then I'm going to score a 1/2 inch, why not? And just add some tape then onto that edge. If you want to make a really sturdy box, I do, bag even, I do recommend glue. But I'm making this super fast for this video, otherwise we'll be here forever waiting for things to dry. So just give that a fold that over to that score line. And push that down. Then bring back in the scoreboard, and I'd say we want an inch. Let's do an inch score. Fold that up and on over itself. Up and over on itself. Then open that up and push down. Excuse me, these corners. Like so. Fold up one side to go above that center line, and then the same on the other side. And add some tape or glue, like I said. Push that open. Oh no, wait, that's why. Now we do again a score line, so that was 1/4 inch. So we're just scoring again, and then we'll do a 1/4 inch on the other side. Fold that in on itself. I love this paper, it's just so pretty. I'll show you what I made with the piece of paper that this became a scrap from another day. Now, we open up the bag, it is super thick card, this one. This one may take a little bit extra. Okay, but we're going to fold it in on itself, so the folds that we've made we are making now in the opposite direction. And I might need a little help here. So just creasing that so that it's the opposite way. And you can make that a little point right before you press anything. Just make sure it's right. And again on the other side. Just because it's a bit long. But again, see, when there's no measurements, you could end up with tall bags, short bags, long bags. But that's the basic premise of your bag, is you can make it, it doesn't have to be measured, it's just fold, fold, fold. Okay. And with this one, because it is rather tall, unless there's something specific, you could fold that over and put a little Velcro tab on it. So like this one. Oops. That was a long, I love this paper too. These are all Crafter's Companion. I'm a bit hooked, but not gonna lie, they are pricey. They are pricey papers, but they are beautiful. But these are scraps, like I say, so I'd cut them off. I think this was just under, I think this was like 11 inches, so this is more than just a scrap, I guess. But again, you can make that into your bag, and this isn't just a project for scraps, this is a bag project. You can make bags however you like. So this one, I just need to finish it off. So I think I'm probably going to add some trim around here, and I'm going to punch some holes. So like this one, and this is the scrap thing that I am going to show you, is that it's strips of paper or card or whatever else, lined all the way around the paper, and then you fold it just as we had then, and then you decorate it with whatever you want. So this tag is the same as that paper, as you can see. Lace, trim, fun, ribbon. It's more material than ribbon, but it was called ribbon on the packaging. So, but that is scrap bags option 1. And then, so this one is easy as pie. We need 2 of the same paper. So this is 12 by 12. Now there are some papers that you just have these huge prints with. Now I know the Posh Paper Lady's been doing a series of videos for using up these big prints that you can't use. Say I can't make a card out of that, a journal possibly, but this technically is a scrap because I can't think of anything else to use this for, so I'm going to make this into a couple of bags. But for this scrap idea, I'm going to use 2 this is watercolour card, which was in a pack of which was a make and create for a £5 from The Works. 24 sheets and lots of lovely colours in there. Look how spring is in my crafting section finally. Yes. So yeah, this is going to be a very simple bag. I'm going to show you a way of measuring it, and you can kind of work out the rest from there. It doesn't have to be 12 by 12, it could be 6 by 6, it could be 5 by 5, it could be 3 by 3 if you wanted a tiny teeny one. I don't think you would get much use out of anything smaller, but you know, you're using up scraps. You might be able to just make a series of tiny little bags. I might even show you. Teeny tiny sounds really cute, so I might just give it a go. Okay, so what we want is 2 inches around 3 edges, 2 and 2, 2, and flip that round. So the edge you haven't scored yet, we're going to score at 3/4 of an inch, so just under an inch. And you're going to do exactly the same on the other piece. When using the big print, you're going to make this the top, so this would be the 3/4 inch, and then it would be 2 inch around the rest of the card. So I'll just do that quickly. While I'm here, I might as well make 2 boxes. They are that 2 bags. They are that quick and easy to make. I will just quickly do that. So it's 2, 2, 2, and at the top is the 3/4. I should not have made a coffee. I'm sloshing it around. Okay, and again, do exactly the same. 2, 2, 2, and 3/4 on the top of your next piece. So before I complicate anything by showing you how to use up your scraps, let's just make the one box so that you know what the basics are. Okay, so you have 2 pieces exactly the same, and at the bottom here, on the bottom of both pieces, you have 2 by 2 squares here, which we are going to cut out. Where the score lines are, you will see. So let me see. I don't think it's showing up very well. Let's just get these fold down. So you see this square here, that's coming off. This square here, this is coming off. So these 2 squares are coming off of the first piece, and the second piece is slightly different, but not complicated at all. So there we go, and actually it's going to be folded this way. This is the inside of the box. Fold your card inward. Okay, so that's your first piece, and you know, maybe you could make a card with 3 little squares on it, and maybe that'll be a short. Okay, so again, fold over those score lines, 2, 2. And pull this down, and again you've got 2 squares of 2 by 2, but you're not going to cut these off, you are simply just going to cut straight across to that score line, and then you're going to take just a smidgy off, and again on the other side, so cut up to that score line and cut a smidgy. I'm really not sure if smidgy is a word, but I like it. Okay, so those are your 2 pieces done. I have got some glue in a little pot here with a brush because I have been making journals and I'm not using a thin nozzled brush for lots of craft. So just going to brush on some glue, and this is regular household glue, PVA glue, paper craft glue, whatever you call it. And I'm just covering this first rectangle here. I am then popping on this section here, and these are still free and movable, and we're just going to let that dry before we do anything else. So as I have already got this one ready, we can now move on to showing you how to use up your scraps. So just the same, folding over these score lines, and I've just realised, and I can't do it on the other one because it's drying now, but the top score line is to come over and be your lip of the top of your box, so it'll give it some contrast. I'll obviously show you that on the other box in a second. Yeah, I keep calling it a box. It's a bag. It's a bag. It's a bag. It does the same job as a box, but it's a bag. So folding them up and folding this over. And now the reason I've made sure I do this on this bag is because when we do our scraps, we are going to need to know where the front panel of the box bag is. It's a bag, Lottie. Okay. So removing squares from the first one. And again, not throwing those out, I'm a crafter. And then across this one, and a little smidgy smidge. And then this one, and a little smidgy smidge. Okay. Okay, now for the scraps. So I got a really random selection here of different scraps, but they go nicely with this spring green colour, bit of contrast, some darker next to the lights, some greens that are in with other colours. Just love this one. I couldn't part with this one for ages, but here we go, we're going to get rid of it. And that one. So what we're going to do is simply just cut random strips, inch, quarter inch, half inch, whatever size you want, and then we're just going to have a play around. Okay, so that's all of our scrap strips done, and we're just going to arrange them nicely on here. So let me just show you this. So here you can see this is the folded over bit, and I've added another strip of scrap once I'd finished gluing this all down. I just layered on random lengths, no rhyme or reason, but I just made sure that there was like a little pattern, but again you don't even need to do that. So you're just going to stick your strips to the front panel, leaving these free because you need to adhere them together. I am not going to stick this down until I've stuck down the strips on here, and then I'm going to seal it with this, and then again on this side. So I'm just going to have a little play around, and I'll fast forward that, and then we will put the bag together. So while that's drying, I come back to this box. So if you remember, I've glued that section down together, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to fold this in half so that we've now got a nice ridge on the side. I'm sorry if you can see all of this scrap in view, but you know, I'm using up my scraps, so I need them around. And if you're not making a mess when you're crafting, what are you doing? If you're spending all your time cleaning up after yourself, you're not crafting. That's what I tell myself anyway. And there we go. So what we're going to do now is we are going to flatten this out again just while we're going to glue this down. So we're going to glue this flap to this part of the box, the bag, box bag, and the same on the other side. So just bringing in my glue and the brush starting to dry. I have been busy with this glue. And I'm just going to stick that. I'm going to make sure I can get it on camera. It's so easy without having to navigate cameras and positioning of things. So that just simply sticks down onto there like so. Just make sure that the crease is aligned. And again on the other side. So flipping it around like no one's business. Just gluing that flap. And bringing that up onto the side like that. And then just give that a bit of a crease as well, just so that the bag can fold up nicely. And then what we're going to do is stick glue all on the edges here, and we're just going to piece that together like so. But if you remember, I had forgotten, because I just saw it, to fold down that 3/4 inch crease at the beginning. So we've got a lip, so I'm just going to I'm going to have to add some more glue. So just run that across there, close that up. Just going to use a grip to hold down. So I've got some free hands. So I'm just going to put some glue on that lip. Fold that down. So do this before you start sticking your box together. I know that was an afterthought on my part. And then stick there. But you see, it wasn't that hard to rectify if you were to forget yourself. And I make these mistakes, so you don't have to. You know, if you're crafting along with this, I do tend to go back and forth and here, there and everywhere, so you're probably better to watch this first and kind of just get your idea and then craft however you want to craft instead of copying exactly, because you're never going to get an exact tutorial from me, I don't think. Okay, so again taking this clip, and just making sure all of those edges are nicely aligned all together. And because I've used PVA glue, wet glue, you get a bit more forgiveness with your ability to shift things around if you need to. So just again, I'm just leave that to dry and we can flatten that out a bit later. So back to my Scrap Attack bag. It's a bag. It is a bag. Back to my Scrap Attack bag. I have done what I did with the first one, which was just stick that panel down in between those. And I want to, for this, because it's a Scrap Attack, want to kind of design a little something with these. So I'm also going to bring in this. So I'm thinking a nice label of some kind. I don't want to get all my die cuts out as well as all my scraps. So just doing one thing at a time. So I'm thinking if I pop this kind of here, we can add, oh, we could even add some strips on here, or we could make this the label, the tag. I think that's too busy as well. Okay, I'm thinking maybe that is a tag, and we could have a couple of tags and like a white one in the middle. I think that's what I'm going to do. But what I do have is my daughter had some spare 3D stickers which she won't mind me using as long as she doesn't know. They've been sat in her craft table doing nothing. I know I would absolutely go insane if she took mine. But it's so I think just something cute like that on the front of the bag will do fine. Okay, so back to this. So I've already sealed the top down, and so just gluing up these tabs. And it really doesn't matter which side you are going to do. Oh, folded. You don't have to do this bit, you can have just a solid bag, but I like to be able to kind of close the bag up, so I always do this step. But again, it's all up to you how you do this. So popping that up and folding that over the top there, and lining that up. Lining this up. It's so quick and simple to make, and great use of scraps on your decent paper. I mean, this is just beautiful watercolour paper that I'm using. I say paper, it's cardstock, so it's a nice sturdy box. And I've just realised I didn't fold this side. I am just a classic crafter. So look, you can leave it solid, so it will just look like that, or like I do, and because I folded the underneath one, it's got a guide to it anyway. And just smoothing that out like so, and I'm gonna do the same on the other side. It's because I'm tired. Okay, and there we have the box done. So again, just going to grab some of my other claw grips and let that sit to dry. And now I've got to go and do the washing up. So I'll be back. So for this one, I am just going to do a simple hole punch and feed through some cord, because this is quite a rusticy looking colour. I'm going to add some brown cord for that, and I'm going to add a little tag and things like that. So I'm just going to find, oh, here it is. So I'm just going to get my hole punch and going to just, it's a thick through there, and then through, try and line it up so that it's at least a bit straight. Whew. So what I forgot to show you earlier is to flatten this down if you were going to store it, is simply just fold down the base over one side, and then you've got your bag all flat packed, and you can then store all of your scrap bags wherever you need to. And so now the holes are in there, I'm just going to get a length of cord, and I'm going to make this second piece the same length by just running that along and chopping that down. And then I'm just going to make a big knot at the end of one piece. And thread that through and just see, yep, that's fine. And then thread that through the other hole, just one side, so through this one, and again knot and knot and knot. So you got one handle there. Now for this side I'm going to stick a little label on. So with this paper pack, look, I got it on sale, £2. This is where the flower paper came from, and if you see there's another huge one, but I've only got one piece that big, so I couldn't make this into a bag. I could cut that down and make it into a 6x6, two 6x6s in fact, so I might do that. But this came with pages with kind of labels. This, I guess this would be used for journaling. You can have it as pockets or tuck spots and things like that. But this matches that one, and I'm thinking I'm just going to cut that out and use that as a tag. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, and I'll just ink up the edges. So I just decided I would fold that in half, and I'll put a hole punch in the corner here, and that then makes a nice little card tag. But I'm going to bring in my Distress ink vintage photo, this one. I use this for everything, I love this one. And just going to ink up those edges because it's a lot brighter than the actual bag itself. And I think one of the benefits of making card based gift bags is that they can be reused. If you use paper, it's quite flimsy and usually just a one-off, but it also gives the feel, if you've used cardstock, of having bought it from a shop for one thing, but a bit of quality to the bag as well. So whoever receives that gift bag, I'm sure will be very, very happy that they've received one made with such love, or such a Lottie love. Sorry. So again, just doing the inside as well. It just adds that little bit of extra satin that I like. And this is what I do in my journaling as well, just sit and distress everything. So I'll just give that a fold over and do the top here too. And then that's beautiful. Now you can add lots of ephemera on here, you can add a little sentiment, you can do whatever you want. But just while I'm going to piece this together, I'm going to bring this back in, angle it so that you can see what I'm doing. So you'll see in a clip later, I've added it at the end because it's a bit of a, it's one of my outtakes, but I thought it was quite funny, so I've put that at the end of the video as well. So threading, and I've done it again, ha ha ha, right. So we've made a knot at the end of this cord. We're going to thread that through the hole in the bag, thread it through the gift tag, and then thread that through the one side hole. Give that a nice big knot so that it doesn't come back through the hole. And there is a beautiful gift bag with tag. So once someone's given it, it will look like that. I think that's perfect. But if you were to think that your handles are too long, you can always trim one end, retie the knot so that it's shorter. And so there we have it. We have two styles of bag using stash, scrap pieces of stash, cardstock, and I think they're just really pretty. Now you could use die cuts from your stash, so you could do like hexagons everywhere and have like a bee theme. You could do just circles, bubbles, kind of whatever your imagination can lead you to, really. But these I think are really, really cute. Now, just to say, Posh Paper Lady has been doing some wonderful things with washi tape. So I'm going to link a video below in my in my description box so that you can see it if you haven't already. I know a lot of you subscribers recently have been kindly given to me by the Posh Paper Ladies. So, but hey Posh, fancy doing a game of ping pong? I ping you this idea, you do your magic creation with whatever you can do, and then you pong. Pong, I think I should reconsider the name game, but pong an idea back to me and I'll see if I can create something with that. It's just an idea, you don't have to do it, but if you use Posh Paper Lady's idea of the washi tape, you could probably do something very, very similar with that as well. And then we had using up the big prints. Again, the video I mentioned earlier, I will from Sherry, the Posh Paper Lady, I will link her video for using up big prints as well. But I think again these are just so pretty and really took no time at all to make. Anyone would be really happy to get these as gift bags. Now stick around for the end because that is my outtake and I think it is quite funny. But in the meantime, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, and if you aren't already a subscriber to my channel, please consider being a follower and hitting that notification bell, and for whenever I post videos, because I try to post every Saturday, but at the minute I'm a busy mama. I've got my craft fair coming up this Saturday. I've got an interview to prep for. There's a lot going on, so I am going to post when and wherever I can. I have got some in the pipeline already to go. I just need to finish editing. Anyway, that's enough about me. So, lovely to have you with me. Thank you so much for joining me, and as always, I'll see you soon. And this is one of the sneak peeks of what's coming up. So this, again, it's going to be a bag, but look, this is all very spring-like, and this is all using scraps apart from the sticker butterflies. All using scraps, and I'll show you how I made this. But there's going to be a prettier version with kind of die cuts and everything else, but again, it's just another scrap stash and it's coming up. And you've just made a little tag, and I'm going to add some paper on this side because you can't write anything on black, but I'll do that later. I'm just adding some ribbon through the hole, feeding it in through the other holes, feeding it through this hole, and I'm just going to fasten that together. And trim that down. Be opened up like so. Oh, I didn't even attach the label. Before you feed that through, you would feed the ribbon onto there. Well, this one's just not going to have a label, or I could, you know, just stick it somewhere, add a little embellishment. That's typical. Let me show you one that I did earlier.